All right, Shalom. I want to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning the truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say Shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, and your children, Shalom. And then today's video is going to be titled Being Occupied in Prophecies, because ultimately we know that's what ultimately we should be giving our mind and our attention over towards, especially for us hopeful elect brothers and sisters, because ultimately that's the spirit of our Lord Yahweh Shai. You see, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He comes in the spirit of prophecy. So that's where we're ultimately going to be giving all of our time and our attention over towards, you see, because that's what matters. You see, prophecy. Right. And I'm actually grab that precept. This is Revelations 19:10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. Right. This is John the Revelator seeing an angel, our forefather. It says, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is the spirit of prophecy. Right. And that's what we're ultimately going to be occupied in, right? As it tells us right here in Sirach 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind, right, to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, right? When you're occupied in something, that means you're ultimately giving over a lot of time and attention over into it. And we're going to actually look up that word occupied, right? Just for edification's sake, right? So bear with me. And it means, right? It means busy and active, right? So that's what it means, being busy and active in something. And that's what we're going to continuously be giving over our mind into. You see, being occupied in these prophecies, man, giving over all our time and attention over into these things, man. You see, of course, we do everything else in our day-to-day lives. We go to work, you got to take care of your family and, things like that. But we know that this comes first and foremost before everything, you see, because this is what's really important, man, So I'm going to finish reading. It says, we'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies, right? And that's what we're ultimately occupied in, these prophecies, man. We see prophecies that are happening right in front of our faces, and we see prophecies that are getting ready to unfold. You see, we see that the RFID microchip, you see that everything that is happening in the world is ultimately moving in that direction for the MOTB to come to pass. We know these things. We ultimately see that World War III is in the beginning stages, is already happening, but is only going to continue to escalate. And we also are in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. We see all of these things because ultimately we're being occupied in prophecies. We're giving over all of our mind over into these things, you see. And I'm actually grab 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and I'm starting verse 1. It said, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, right? And the reason why these things won't need to be explained unto us, right, as it says, because we're ultimately been given over our mind into these things. You see, we're able to know what time and season we're in, right? Because we're ultimately walking circumspect. You see, we're giving over all of our mind and all of our time over into these prophecies. So we know what's coming down the pipeline real soon, you see. And it says, verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, right? Which is going to be unexpected, man. That's going to be the same way when this destruction and all of this chaos that's getting ready to come upon the earth is going to come. It's going to come suddenly upon these people, man, when they're not expecting it. You see, that's why a thief, when it breaks in a house, people don't know when it's going to come. It just comes, abruptly when you least expect it. You see, when you're chilling or you're cooling. And that's how this stuff is going to come upon the earth, upon these people. And that's also going to be the return of our Lord as well. He's going to come when people least expect it. You see? Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon woman with child, and they shall not escape, you see. So when this destruction come, which we see we're in that time now of these destructions that are getting ready to befall upon planet Earth, it's going to come upon these people suddenly, man, because like I said, these people are not watching. You see, majority of these people, talking about the 2/3 of our people, they're not being occupied in prophecy. They're not watching of, the things that is happening worldwide in the news and aligning it with prophecy and knowing what time we're in. You see, that's why it tells you in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And that's a good majority of our people, man. You see, people just in general, they're simple. They have no idea what's ultimately getting ready to come down the pipeline upon this world. Right. So when the destruction does come, it's going to come suddenly. Right. These people are not going to be expecting it because they're not watching. You see, everybody just walking around careless. You see, living in their own world in their mind. Right. But it says, verse 4, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. That's talking about us hopeful elect brothers and you few sisters out there, man. This day that's coming, right, when all of this destruction, all of this chaos, all of these calamities that are about to come upon planet Earth, these things are not going to overtake us. You see, because ultimately we're not in darkness, man, like these people are. You see, they're consumed with the cares and the affairs of their lives. They're too busy worried about how they're going to pay the bills or how they're going to get to work. And you see, these the cares that these people have, man, because these people don't know what's coming. You see, these people believe in their mind that the world as they know it, that they see now, is going to continue to keep rolling. You see, that ain't nothing bad coming to this earth. That's how these people live their lives day to day, man. Like everything's just going to be good forever. Right. But these people have no idea what's getting ready to come upon them, man. Right. But this is verse 4 again. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So guess what? When these things come and they happen, it's not going to overtake us as a thief, because guess what? We're not blinded by the cares and the affairs of our lives. We're not blinded by things that don't matter. You see, we're keeping our mind, our eyes single, man, focused on the Lord. You see, so these things are not going to come upon us unawares. Right. Verse 5, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. You see, we're not like these people in the world, man. You see, these people are too busy worrying about everything else that don't matter. You see, worrying about, just simple stuff, man, things that really don't have any value. You see, that's what everybody is focusing upon, man. Right. But it says, verse 6, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And that's what we got to continuously do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We got to continue to watch as well as be sober minded, man, knowing that ultimately we're in these bad times and that things is only going to get worse in this earth, man. Right. What does it say in 1 Peter 4:7? It says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer, man. So we got to be praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, knowing the things that we know that's getting ready to come down the pipeline, that the Lord has mercy upon us, and that we're ultimately deemed worthy to escape these things that we know is getting ready to unleash, man. Because it's only a matter of time, man. Like I said, we're already in those times and we see it, right? The writing is on the wall of everything that's about to happen, right? And if you don't see it, then, hey, the Lord just ain't dealing with you, man. That just is what it is, because what's about to take place is plain as day, But it says, I'm going to grab this precept as well, because this is a good one, right? Because ultimately, this is the spirit that we want to be in, right? This is Luke chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts, meaning your minds, be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness, right? You go into that word surfeiting. It means, being ultimately consumed with the things of this life, man, consumed with money, consumed with, whatever it is that people ultimately do. You see that they give all of their time and energy towards. You see, you don't want to be consumed with the cares and the affairs of this life, man. You see, it says, and drunkenness and cares of this life. And so that they come upon you unawares, right? Because ultimately it's going to come upon a lot of these people unawares. When these evils happen, it's going to catch people off guard. Like I said, you see, because they're not paying attention. It says, verse 35, for as a snare, meaning a trap, shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth, right? Talking about these people, man. It's going to come upon them as a trap, because ultimately they don't know that these things are getting ready to happen. So it's going to come upon them unexpectedly, you see. But as it says, verse 36, watch ye therefore and pray always, right? 1 Thessalonians 5:17, pray without ceasing. That's what we got to constantly be doing in these times. Speaking to myself first and foremost. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass. What is that talking about? The evils, right? Everything that the Lord is getting ready to bring upon the earth, man. You see, famines, pestilences, World War III, the MOTB microchip, everything that's getting ready to come down the pipeline, man. Guess what? We want to ultimately pray and hope that we're worthy to escape all these things, man, that the Lord is with us. Right? It says that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, which is our Lord Yahushua. You see, that's why we're mainly occupied in these prophecies, because we're watching for the second return of our Lord. We don't want him to come upon us as a thief. You see, we want to know when the Lord is going to return, man, even though no man knoweth the hour or day, as it says in the scriptures. But still, we know all of the signs and the tokens that the Lord have ultimately given us leading up to his second coming. And ultimately, we're watching those signs through the things that are happening in the earth, so that when these times do come, you see, it won't take us as a thief, you see, because we're not ultimately, caught up with everything else that doesn't matter, man. You see, So I'm actually grab this precept as well. So bear with me, because this is what it's all about, because when the Lord does return, he's going to come as a thief, man, upon these people. I'm going to grab St. Matthew chapter 24, right, through the Spirit. And I'm going to start at I'm going to go to like verse 37, right? And I'm going to just read on down. And it says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? And it tells you on down, right, what they was doing in the days of Noah, right? Just like what's going to happen in this time again, right? There's no new thing under the sun. Just like in the days of Noah before the flood, guess what? People was living carelessly. People was not taking anything seriously. People were laughing at the men of the Lord, not taking heed to the warnings, right? People were not, paying attention to what was coming to them. You see, everybody was just living clueless and, going along with their lives, man. Everybody was walking after the flesh, you see. But it says, I'm going to finish reading. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, right? Marrying and giving in marriage. Just what these people going to be doing now. When the destruction come, when all of the evil and all hell and chaos break loose in this place, America, man. These people going to be going about their lives, just doing everything that they do like it's a regular old day, right? It says until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And we know what happened once Noah entered into that ark, man. It started raining, right? The Lord started bringing the judgment, right? And it says, verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? It says, verse 40, then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left, right? Verse 41, two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left, right? Verse 42, this is the point. It says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come, you see, and that's what we got to continue to do. You see, speaking to myself first and foremost, we got to continue to watch as well as pray, man. Because like I said, the Lord is coming back, man. We know that for a fact. You see, that's why we got to continue to be occupied in these prophecies and to continue to give over our mind unto them, man, to continue to, just focus on the things that are important, right? Don't allow the things that ultimately you go through in your life. Don't allow, situations, people, or none of those things to ultimately to throw you off your relationship with the Lord, man, or to throw you off of what's important. And that's the truth, man. You see, because this is ultimately more important than everything, you see. But Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying. Just a quick hit through the Spirit. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.